Hey guys, today I want to talk a little bit about this tailgate. We found this thing to be amazing already, and so I just thought I would tell you a little about some of the features. You've seen it go down like this. In this configuration, it hinges on the bottom, and I'm going to kind of go through the mechanism and tell you how it works. Well, while I got it almost down, I want to point out something else. They've put these 1/2-inch square bars on here as ribs to provide a little bit of a rough approach for the equipment that you bring on here. And on a day like today, that is wonderful, right? I mean, those ribs work really well. I don't have any traction issues at all. The tractor does really well too. What we found when it's cold or when it's wet, just a little bit, this gets really slick, even with those ribs. So what they've done is a big help, but we need something else. I don't know if we just need it along one side or if we want the whole. What kind of ideas are they? I mean, can we use like a spray-on bed liner material for this thing? Can we use some tape or something that's got rough edges on it? It would just be nice to have some ideas from you guys, the viewers. Leave them in the comments section below. What can we do to make this thing a little bit rougher, yet it's got to be durable enough to handle big equipment like the Mini X, the tractors, maybe dragging some stuff up here that doesn't even have wheels on it. You know, it gets, well, it's real life. So let us know. Now, this is all driven by a remote right here. There's controls up front that switch whether you're on dump or tailgate or jack. There's 3 different choices. And then we just have simple up and down levers here. For this one, it makes perfect sense. We press the up to go up and the down to go down. The funny thing is, it feels kind of backwards when you're opening the gate the other direction. I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, I've got the gate all the way up. There's a lever right here. I pull this out and move that, and that takes a fork right up here and pushes it up, and that turns this into the hinge. Okay, I'm gonna do that again for you. So this is with the hinge down, you can actually see the fork right here. We push that up, the hinge is right there. Now this is actually the transport position. The fork up here is shoved up into that rod to make that hinge tight. And this lock feature is down on the bottom. If I want to actually open it the other way, I have to bring this lock up, like so. This is the only lever that's on both sides. So I have this same lock over here. So what we have now is we have the forks upward. That makes that the hinge. We have this bottom rod exposed. And this is what's funny. You press the down button, and it makes logical sense, right? Because you're running the same cylinder that you were running with the hinge the other way. It just sometimes gets a little hard to remember. Now we've actually got a load on now. These are pieces of insulation. I think they weigh about 75 pounds per bundle, so it's not a very heavy load. So when I put the gate in this position, I could actually get under it with my 1025R and a set of forks and still get something pretty tall. Don't pay attention to the tarp, but I could get something pretty tall in there and set it flat on the bed. I could just drive right up here, set it flat on the bed. But sometimes you actually want to load with the ramp down, and that works very well too. Okay, I want to show you something else here. On both of these hooks, these little spring-loaded rods that I've got here to lock it in, they're getting a little bit of rust in there. Now I've only had it a couple of months. They're galvanized, so I decided to take some of this WD-40 Specialist Silicone Lubricant. It's supposed to dry, not attract dust, and it's supposed to stick on there for a long time. So I'm going to shoot some of that right in there. And hopefully this won't become a greasy mess, right? I mean, that's the whole point here. The last thing I want is this whole area here to just be all black with dust and grease. And, but yet I really want to watch that rust and try to get that under control. There are several of these on the truck, and I'm going to hit every one of them before I quit here today. Now you've seen several of these WD-40 Specialist products at probably most of the retailers. I was in Menards the other day and they had a whole aisle of them. We're all familiar with WD-40, mainly because of their namesake product, right? We all just called it WD-40. Well, that's going to have to change because Now they've got all these specialist products. There's a bunch of them, and they're all slightly different for different applications. Check them out. Now, one thing I was concerned about was the strength of this ramp. I was afraid that with my Mini X being 8,000 or 9,000 pounds, it was going to really be tough to handle that. But they told me that this thing would handle 13,000 pounds, so I don't think there's any risk at all. I did have a little bit of trouble early on with it catching right up here as this top rod went into that slot. And I called BWise about it, and I said, hey, this isn't working quite right. They put a warranty guy on the line, and he talked me through it. He knew exactly what was going on. I was afraid I had bent something, or you know how it is. You get something brand new, and you're just afraid you've destroyed it. No, that wasn't it at all. What he suggested I do was once I got this thing shut, I would configure it the other way so that it hinged the other way, and I would go either way with it a time or two. And sure enough, what was wrong was that it wasn't fully embedding in the hinge point down here, and therefore it wouldn't close at the top. You guys have probably seen this. You get a piece of equipment you're not used to, and you feel like it's just not working, something's wrong. But once you get accustomed to, you know, just the little things, just nuances about how it works, you realize there's no problem. It's great to have someone like BWise. I mean, just one call, and yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, but one call, they said, here's your problem. It's not a mechanical issue. Go on. It's great. It's awesome to have great customer support like that. So, get you one of these fancy lime green trailers.
It was kind of coincidental. As I was unloading this load of insulation, my new friend Wes came in with yet another load of insulation just like it. These are scraps of spray foam insulation. I'm not sure of the application for this insulation, but a company on the other side of town makes it, and the scraps are still 10 feet long.
That's that one-piece deck is allowing that to slide.
Yeah.
When Wes saw that I needed insulation, he contacted me and let me know about this stuff. Hopefully this will help keep our pole barn warm next winter. So yet another project on the to-do list. Meanwhile, we got to get Wes on Johnny. See if we can get him convinced that he needs one.
There you go.
It came out a little easier than expected.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way, it came out easier than it went in.
That's for sure.
I don't think I'd have got it in there. Wes has got
I don't know about all
bigger
that.
guns than I got, and he was able to get that last bundle in the trailer, but gravity helped us on the way out. And you know what? Johnny's going to help us on your load.
Works for me. I'll get it all unstrapped and ready to go.
I guess I thought if we put these forks out as far as we could that we would not have as much tipping. And I'm hoping here with Johnny 3 we can lift up that high and get him. So this is what it sounds like inside the cab. You're using my lapel microphone to hear what's going on in here. There's crossways pieces of styrofoam under that bundle that I'm trying to actually dodge. And they're not quite in the center. SCV is kind of difficult for me to use, actually. It is nice that it lifts higher than Johnny, though. It'll be surprised if I can get it on the ground without spilling it, because I am not used to this valve at all. I'll try to let it down some here and see if I can get it. You know, every tractor has a little different feeling valve, and you can see how jerky this one is for me. But given time, I would get used to it. Now I have to figure out where to put it. This stuff weighs only about 75 pounds, so I don't think it's going to overtax the tractor. Now what you'll see is the forks on a tractor are not nearly as smooth to control as forks on a forklift. It's different priorities. Yet another challenge. He's trying to make it difficult on me, isn't he? He's going to roll them out here on the floor. Not very good balance on this one. I'm liable to lose it before I get there. Too much on the left side. I'll carry it low so if it falls off it won't hurt anything. Okay, now's your chance for your debut. Have you ever driven a little John Deere before?
Yeah.
It's not really fair to put him on camera his very first time using one of these, is it? It looks like it's some huge load, but it's not.
I think you have plenty of counterbalance for that load.
I think so, yeah. I think we've got the double bracket on there, Christy.
Yeah.
I've got 6 42s on the front and then 4 42s and 4 70s on the back. So let's see if he knocks over all 5 piles when he tries to put that in there. The cool thing is it doesn't matter. That stuff is free and it's lightweight. It's not going to hurt anybody or anything, so there's nothing better to practice with. He seems like an old pro, Christy.
I know. There you go. Got it.
Yes, we should have the ROPS up, but it's only 75 pounds. So you've got to drive both of them now, admittedly for about 2 minutes each. Which one do you like best immediately?
Oh, this one. This one's me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just handier, isn't it?
It's handier, and like I said, this one's less responsive, where that one, I mean...
A little bit of motion and you throw the loader way up. Yeah. What else? Any other observations different?
Well, I don't need something that big. And that one doesn't look like you can fit a belly mower right there, can you?
No, that one's not made for a belly mower. Now there is the 3R, which costs a lot more, that allows a belly mower. But this one has a mid-mount mower, and it's easy. It's that drive-over one.
Okay.
You know, that you don't have to, it's auto connect they call it, and you just drive over, you don't even have to hook up the PTO shaft.
Wow.
So drive over and go.
Yeah, I definitely bought the wrong toy. I shouldn't have got a zero turn.
That can be remedied. Hey, it was great to have Wes with us for a few minutes. He dropped by and left some of that insulation. Hopefully we can show you some insulation videos later, but it was fun to get to see him driving both Johnny and Johnny 3 and just getting a little feedback from him. He had to leave, so I guess the fun's over. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We really appreciate you joining us for Truck and Trailer and Tailgate Tuesday on Tractor Time with Tim.